This week, we get sent to the realms in Race A. Race B sees us suddenly stop dead at Trail Mountain. And Race C, does Carl get a penalty for that deliberate takeout? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo Weekly Race Guide here in 2022. It's week 38 this week, and you can probably tell by my voice, I am not feeling very well. However, I have still done the guide for you. It's taken a lot of effort, I can tell you that much. Now, in the background, you can see we're at Monza for this first one. It's Monza, no chicane as well. So the first chicane gone. We're accelerating at 170 miles an hour towards that second chicane. Let's have a look at the race details then. We're racing 5 laps here at Monza, no chicane. It's a good start with a false start check, sport soft tyres, as well fuel and tyre wear, and it's a tuning one, so 443 brake horsepower, 1300 kilograms, and an FR car. Also in the background, you've got some timestamps there, so use them to navigate this video if you want to just jump straight to B or C. There you have it. Without further ado then, let's jump to the race and let's have a look at exactly what happened, as well as a lap guide and why I chose the BMW. Here we are then at the start. Mixture of all sorts of cars. The Viper was on top, but why did I choose BMW? Because it was the only car that I had to set up for. I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And it was not too shabby on the straights. However, in the corners, it does struggle a little bit. So be careful of that start. Remember, track control on 1, and it is a false start check. You're going to have to be very careful. Now, because it's tuning, this first corner is really difficult because some people are going to be braking for it, while others aren't going to brake for it. Now, I'm one of the people who don't brake for this. However, there are people up ahead who will brake for this, as you're about to see. So we're going to head in towards turn 1 then. Need a brake in there. I'll go on the outside here. Unfortunately, they lose the rear end just as I was going past, and I get sent to the realms very early. Indeed, that was. But don't worry, it's not the end of the race because we know we can catch up. There's a mixture of all sorts of cars in here. As we catch up to Recaro then in the Ford Mustang GT. It looks like the Group 3 road version, doesn't it? As we come into here then. And this car, you'll notice I'm also using traction control. Very sketchy on the throttle, which is why I advise probably not using this one. There will be other people posting their setups, what to do for race A, etc. I'm just going to give you a general idea about what's happening in this race. So coming up towards turn 1 again, going to chuck it in here again. I don't brake for this. I really just try and maintain that speed. And you can see up ahead, look how fast we're catching Michael here, the French driver. In fact, we're catching him so fast, we're going to actually dive down in towards the braking zone then, and we're going to get it stopped. That's how fast you can do that turn 1, and the difference is actually monumental. It also does mean there could be some accidents. Once again, we're doing the same thing as well. So coming into this turn, some people are going to brake. There you go. You see the 8C. Just brake there, and we're going round. I'm going to go around the outside at the Curva Grande. My word, that is a move and a half, if I do say so myself. And we can see a big gaggle of cars coming up as well. So we've got some racing action to come as we come into here. TCR Inferno Fox, shout out to you. If you want to join TCR, do check out the description. We're going to be doing more and more with TCR, which you can find out with another video that we'll post at the end. So here we go again. We're in P8, same corner, same situation. People are going to be braking up ahead, and we're not going to be braking because why use the brake pedal when you can use the throttle? Hey. So going to truck it into here. Through we go, and you can see Salvi has just got it slightly wrong in the Viper. We just got on the inside here of Salvi, and that's up into P7. So heading towards the braking zone then. Hard one to get right this. Salvi gets it all sorts of wrong here. Goes through, goes for the cut. Weirdly, doesn't get reset and carries on through, which I was a bit like, what? There was no contact there. How is that not a penalty? There we go. There's the penalty. So it's applied a little bit later on, 1.5 seconds. So we overtook Salvi. We're going to go into a lap guide now. So heading towards here, and you're going to notice again the braking. I don't brake for this. I've shown you 3 times already, so that's why I'm using this lap all the same. You've got to have to be careful from people braking for that corner. Right, we're going to head down towards the turn number 1, and we're basically looking for just after the 200 meter board here on the right hand side, and well before the 150 meter board in the BMW. As we go into here then, I'm going to slow the car down. Beautiful stuff. Through we go and continue on out the other side. It's a bit of a good race here with Timber Snake. Head towards Lesmelt 1. We're actually looking for the 50 meter board, and you're braking just before it. All your braking zones are going to be a lot earlier than you expect now, by the way, because normally we're braking at it. This time we are braking before it. So into the right hander we go. Be careful on throttle. These cars are very oversteery. As we start to look, we're not going to do that, and we're just going to brake here. Again, before the 50-meter board on the left-hand side, you're braking extremely early for all these corners because the cars don't like to stop, essentially. And they do like to oversteer as well. You can't change brake balance if you really want to, because it's a tuning race, and you can do that, which is happy days, I suppose, isn't it? As we now got a run on Timber Snake, heading towards Ascari. They're in that Viper. Is that the SRT10 or whatever it's called? It's a car we've not seen in quite a while. So heading towards Ascari, then the 150-meter board on the right-hand side is your brake marker. Again, you're braking extremely early here. And it's better to brake early for Ascari just to settle the car, because there's lots of sausages on Ascari, and if you start hitting them, the car will want to oversteer. You can see traction control was taking a bit of effect there. Going through here, we're just going to be careful again, and hey, there we go, look at that. You can see how easy it is to oversteer in these cars. FR, lots of power, not a lot of grip. We're going to head towards the Parabolica then, and what we're looking for now, so we just passed the 200-meter board, we're actually looking for the 150-meter board. It's just after the 150-meter board, to be fair, and you're going to be braking extremely early again. You want to get it turned in, you want the car settled, because if the car settles, you can accelerate earlier. If you're braking dead hard into the Parabolica, the car won't settle, there's too much weight transfer, and then you get oversteer. That was only a mini bit of oversteer. We've seen lots of people get a huge amount of oversteer on the Parabolica. And head towards the line then. Timber Snake decides that they want to give the streamer the cursed position, of course. But a big shout out for giving me that position. Thank you so much, mate. SRT10 it was indeed. But this race is going to be a bit spread out, to be honest. And as I say, there's some tunes out there that are godlike. They really are godlike. That is it for race A then. Let's finish here at Monza and let's head to Trial Mountain, where we're in Group 4 Machinery, and this one is a little bit chaotic, actually, I found. But I did decide to choose a different car to the Alfa Romeo, even though that is the meta car. It always is the meta car. I decided to go for the Lamborghini because that was top at the time, weirdly. But the Alfa is probably the better car. Let's have a look at the race details then to find out why. 5 laps here at Trial Mountain. It's a rolling start, and it's a stupid one as well. Racing medium tyres, happy days PD, nearly in that one. Tyres on fuel and tyre wear. And as I say, we're in the Group 4, so the BOP is on the medium speed. I'm in the Lamborghini. Let's jump to the race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens, because this one is a little bit chaotic, and I'll give you a lap guide once again. We are then at the start. You can see a lot of Alphas. We've got Subaru in there as well. A few GTRs. I was tempted actually by a GTR, but the Alfa seems to be the go-to car. And we're trying out the Lamborghini because, hey, why the heck not? Right, we're going to fast forward a little bit here, straight from the back. You saw how bad that rolling start was. As we come through here then, we've got Comtour up ahead. Now, they're defending on the inside in the Jägermeister machine. We're going to try around the outside here as we look to get that done as we go round the corner. They just understeer out towards me. I'm not sure they released the steering there. I'm not too sure. But in towards this right-hander, then they really weren't paying attention because I was along the inside. But we do get that position all the same. And that is us up to P13 with Corey very close behind. Really is very close. Right, let's advance further on where we have a Super Mario machine up ahead. And the Super Mario machine is going to end up in the wall. There's no pipe there, my friend. But we will take that position off you. So that is us up to P12. We advance further on. Into the tunnel we go, the dark tunnel. As we come through here, we've got an Alfa Romeo, which scared the life out of me because it unghosted. However, it didn't actually impact me there because that would have been quite a horrible hit and I'd have had lots of damage there with the car. Right, we're on lap number 3 now. Quite intense, obviously, or quite quick in terms of advancing to this point, but this is where the action gets good. We've got Robo-Mags up ahead, the Brit in the GTR. We've got 2 Alfa Romeos. Now coming in through here, there's a big old contact there, so I think somebody gets stuck on the wall, then Robo-Mags hits them and I hit Robo-Mags. We've got a bit of damage. However, we're looking to catch up here, looking down the inside towards this left-hander. We get alongside then, in towards the braking zone we go. And we're side by side with Robo-Mags then. Through we go and we get the job done. Up into P11 then. Lots of Alphas up ahead that we can overtake because the Alfa does struggle a bit more on the straights than the Lamborghini. However, not as much as it used to by all accounts. So going through this right-hander then, and Robo-Mags still behind us here. We're going to advance a bit further on then. And let's have a look at some of the racing action. This is where it gets interesting then. So heading towards turn 1, Corey's looking down the inside of Rufus then, the German driver. Coming into here, Rufus gets all sorts wrong. I'm trying to avoid Rufus. I managed to catch it. However, Robo-Mags takes full opportunity there. Gets back that P11 position. And we're going to keep on racing then towards the tunnel. In we go. You can see it's all getting very intense up ahead. Robo-Mags looking to get past the Alfa. We're looking to get past the Alphas as well as we head down towards this right-hander. And Robo-Mags just looking on the inside. Didn't quite work out. I think there was a slight tap there potentially as we go through that corner. towards the left, then the right. Looking at the inside of Rufus, but Rufus unfortunately closes the door there. So we're going to continue on through this left-hander. And this is where we're just looking to accelerate, get the best run out the corner, and hopefully catch up to Rufus before the end of the straight. Here we go then. How big is that slipstream gap? You can see we're not actually catching that much. The Alpha used to struggle a lot on terms of top speed, but it's not so much now. But here we go. It's starting to struggle a little bit now as we head towards this left-hander then. We're sort of looking down the inside. We're looking. We go for the dive here, and we're not going to quite get it done there. And we continue on in P12 for now. Corey's had an issue there. Rob Mike takes full advantage. And now Corey and Rufus are side by side. So I was trying to decide here where to go, what to do. As we come into here, then I'm just thinking, okay, let's follow Corey through. There's a slight tap there, but I think there's room, to be honest with you. Remember, I am racing ill. I actually have room spin, if I'm honest with you. So apologies if you see some of this driving and you go, that's not right, Tidge. I literally had room spin. I really did. So we're going to head down towards the chicane then, looking for a move on Corey to try and get up into P10. Coming into the braking zone. We actually braked a tiny bit too late here. We're going to actually tap Corey there. So what we're going to do here is just let Corey go back through, and it's going to continue on as we did. So now we can get racing. We can also go into a lap guide for you as well. Obviously, you want the lap guide so you can get a bit better in terms of those lap times. You're going to see the difference here between the Alpha and the Lamborghini as we get... You see the Alpha struggle there as we get into 5th gear. Stay in 5th gear in the Lamborghini if you're going to use it. Now, you've got yellow canopies on the left-hand side. As they get to the edge of your screen, you might want to dab the brake a tiny bit, but you want to chuck it into this left-hander, and then you don't want to brake throughout the rest of it here. So I'm obviously on the outside here, so I'm going to have to brake a little bit more. We get the move done there on Corey. How about that for a move? As I say, through here, you can do this nearly flat. Obviously, I had to take a different line, so I had to lift a little bit there. Now, the braking marker for the tunnel is the tunnel entrance, weirdly. So you can brake here, and you want to chuck it in, get on the inside quite early here. Because it's so dark, remember, you can look behind and look forward again just to brighten that tunnel up a teeny tiny bit. As we come through the tunnel, I've actually just understeered slightly wide there. Heading down towards this right-hander on the left-hand side, we have a rock, a big old rock there. Brake just before that in the Lamborghini. Other cars may vary, of course, but it's a good little brake marker here. And just be careful on the inside. You don't want to hit the invisible wall as we go through there and continue on out the other side. So head towards the left-hand side, and at the end of the curb here, this is where you're going to dab the brake and turn in. You sort of want to take a later apex here because then you stay on the inside. If you turn too early, you're going to end up going wide on the corner exit, and it's going to compromise the whole thing here. You can see how I did that there. Get over to the right-hand side very quickly. And as you come into here, you just dab the brake a little bit, chuck it in, and hope that it sticks. It does stick fairly okay as we continue on through there. Now we're just going to fast forward along the straight here. Heading towards the left-hander. We've got Banky Boy at Trail Mountain. You have a left-handed sign there on the right-hand side. Use that as your brake marker. I'm braking just after this in the Lamborghini, but it's a really nice brake marker. It's always there. People cannot wipe out that sign. And yeah, use it to your advantage. So through the left we go. Get on the throttle quite early here. It's a little bit... I don't know what the word is here, actually, because I'm ill. But basically, you can accelerate early, and the car will stick. It won't oversteer. Coming over the crest of the hill, where that big tree used to be, literally, this is your brake marker. Straight line they're braking all the way to the apex for the next corner. Then literally accelerate early again. It will stick. You're seeing that stick here. The racing medium tyres extremely grippy as we head down the hill. The last rock on the left-hand side is your brake marker. As that hits the edge of your screen, that is when you're going to brake. Be careful about turning in too early. I do that a couple of times here where I just run wide, and it's not the greatest in the world. Going through here, job's done, good and done, as we then head down towards the chicane. The chicane, a very tricky brake marker, but there's a fairly obvious one as well. So you've got the dark greyish sort of concrete barriers. The second to last one that I've highlighted there, that's your brake marker. It's a perfect brake marker. You see them in both qualifying and the race. Use that as your brake marker here. You want to keep it tight for the first part to give you an excellent run on the second part. Some people will go for the move down the inside on this last lap, so just be careful of that. Let's leave that corner then. We have an Alpha of Corey right behind us. We're going to have a drag race towards the line then. Who is getting this P10 position as Corey gets closer, closer, closer? And Corey just gets it there by 2 thousandths of a second. Well played, Corey. Brilliant race there with you. And I think you are my driver of the week this week. That's it for Trail Mountain. A fairly okay race. So you can have some good racing here. Let's head to Race C, where we stay in America then, and we're at the Daytona road course. This is a fantastic circuit. Usually lots of racing here, although there is only one meta car, and that is the Toyota Supra. It's so good in terms of 6th gear. It's the car you need to use, otherwise you're going to get overtaken. Right, let's jump straight into the race details then. We are racing 10 laps here at Daytona Road Course. It's a rolling start, but no need to worry because it's oval. Racing medium and hard tyres both are required, so there is some strategy here. Tyres 1 fuel times 9 tyre wear, and the bop is on the high-speed bop. Of course it is, because it's an oval road course. Right, I chose the Supra, obviously, because of what I've just explained with 6th gear. Let's jump to the race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens, as well as the strategy, and a lap guide to boot. We are then at the start. You can see lots of Supras here. I say they were dominating the old leaderboards here. And a nice little rolling start as well. I say it's an oval, so everybody should have a nice clean start. However, turn 1 is a very tricky corner at the start of the race, so do be careful as you head in there. You can have dirty air, cold tyres. You're on the racing hard, as I've started with here. You're going to have a little less grip than what you've been playing in practice, so just be careful coming to here. You can see a couple of people have run wide there as we continue on through, and we're staying in P12 for now. Heading down towards this right-hander then. Just braking early here. I was trying to be very safe here. I had the most rune spin for this race, and yeah, it was a bit scary to race with it, to be honest with you. And I didn't want to damage anybody's race, so I was just driving extremely safely here and see what I could do in terms of the video for you guys, because I do enjoy making this video. I think this is the only time where I've not wanted to do the video, to be honest, because I'm ill. Coming into here, I just brake a bit early, although Clugnut there just doesn't brake early enough, I think. Just misinterprets what's going on there. A couple of people go off at the chicane, of course they do, and Clugnut is actually going to go around the outside here, so fair play to them. They got the run through the chicane and up into P10 they go. I think we gained a position there, didn't we? And P11 it is for us for now. You're seeing how good the Supra actually is here. We're looking to catch up to the Porsches very, very, very quickly, and there's also some AMG Mercedes in this. We go to the left-hand side. We're going to follow Clugnut through. What a name that is. Oh, that's a hard one to say. As we head in towards the braking zone, then we're just going to defend from the Porsche on the inside. They get a little bit wrong, but they managed to save it. Fair play to the Porsche driver, as we are in P9 now. I think somebody must have left there. Right, we're going to continue on, and we've got Clugnut ahead of this group now. We've got 2 AMG Mercedes in between us and Clugnut. So it's a Supra sandwich with Mercedes in the middle. And you can see the difference here. Look at the speed difference. It's just absolutely ridiculous with these cars. I'll look to go to the left and I think, nope, he's not going to let me have that. So I'm going to go on the outside here. On the outside, heading towards turn 1 then. We just get put in the wall there. They weren't paying too much attention. And as we come into here, we just survive. And then they absolutely hit the Supra driver. I have no idea why they did that at all. We'll have a look at the bloopers afterwards in terms of that. But they do get a 5-second penalty. So, you know, fair play. Gran Turismo, that is a penalty quite rightly deserved and done correctly. It really was. Right, so let's advance a bit further on then, because obviously we're going to pass Carl, or we will do shortly. Coming into here then, the chicane, very hard to get right. Through the right-hander we go, and we're just being careful. Oh, there we go. Everyone's slowed up and a bit of damage once again on the front. We've got to be so careful with this damage now. It's very easy to get damage just from a little tap. We had one earlier on from Clugnut, another one there when everybody decided to stop as they were leaving the corner, which is a bit unusual, I must admit. You can see there, Carl, 5-second penalty, will easily overtake Carl. But you're also going to see a Z4 go in the pit, so very early pit stop for Zolar. See if they can make it to the end a little bit later on. So we advance further on then, up towards the chicane once again. Coming into here, we're just going to keep it steady, and I decided I was going to pit this lap because why not? Just try a bit of an earlier tactic. We got the chicane all sorts of wrong again with a very slow exit there. And Ricky actually got a penalty for that. We didn't, so it decided we were going too slow anyway. So we're going to have a bit of a run now. I went over to the right-hand side and I was like, whoa, hang on, I need to come in the pits here. We can't go over to the right-hand side. So I'm just coming towards the left-hand side. I lifted off and we're going to jump into the pits while also overtaking Ricky Bobby at the same time. So the medium tyres for us, 14.1 seconds as we come in. And as we leave, it's going to be 20 seconds in terms of the pit stop. So we'll try and keep an eye out about where that 20 seconds is. Right, we're going to continue on then a bit further on in the race. We're catching up to this Z4 who came in early. You see a lot of people coming in on lap 6. Lap 6, 6 laps on the medium. Very hard to do, but it's possible. Going towards turn 1. I'm using that line there. So you can see the flag indicator just below the 1.6 seconds in terms of lap time. But that little marker there, that's what I'm using. Then I straight line the braking as we come into here. And I drop to second gear. Be careful about barrier in it, as in hitting the barrier there on the left-hand side. Very easy to do. Very common mistake at this circuit. As we leave that corner, we're going to head over towards the left-hand side. And what we're looking for on the right side is the one board there. As that one board is very helpful. So we're going to use that and hit the brakes. There we go. Second gear. Now, I don't know whether some people are using first. I was using second just to keep the car stable. Remember, I'm trying to save tyres a little bit here so I can make it to the end. And that is why I am just playing it safe as well in terms of wheel spin, etc. So, going through the left, you can do this flat. Get over towards the left-hand side very quickly. And that dark patch of tarmac there on the left-hand side, just after that leaves your screen, is your next brake marker. A very useful brake marker. So, as that leaves the screen, you're going to hit the brakes, and you're going to go for a wide line in, basically. So, initially, you might want to turn in early, but don't. Turn in for a later apex, then accelerate through the corner. Be careful of oversteer on exit. Head over towards the right-hand side then, and as that other piece of track comes or goes over to the right-hand side, the end of that there is your brake marker. So as that leaves the screen, you're going to hit the brakes. I've always found a tighter line to be beneficial here, just because you can get it straighter quicker. Some people will go for the wider line, but essentially you've got to be careful of wheel spin on exit. It's very easy to do, especially as you go onto the bank in here of the oval. Let's fast forward a little bit here. Let's get towards the chicane. And, you know, past the 3 board, the 2 board, and then you have that flag indicator right there. That is your brake marker for the chicane. Literally, as that hits the top of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes. And I couldn't decide 4th or 3rd gear, to be honest with you. I think you can do 4th gear absolutely fine. As we come through here, no problemo, and accelerate through the corner. And then we're going to have a bit of a run on the old Z4 in the slipstream then. As we continue on, look at this then, here we go. You're going to see the difference here between a Supra and a Z4. Technically, in the modern era, the Supra and the Z4 are the same car, which is quite unusual, but there we go. So Zalart knows they're going to get overtaken, so they just stay towards the right-hand side. They're not really fighting it, and they're going to come back across, because they're looking after their tyres as well. That is another position gained. So in towards turn 1 we go. We know Hewitt is in the pits. As we come in, and again, avoid hitting the barrier there. You don't want to do that. It's a bit of an embarrassing incident, and I've done it before. Everybody's done it before. As we see Hewitt's there coming out the pits, also on hards. They came in on hards, they've left on hards. Z4 behind, just trying to go for the move there on Hewitt, but they're not going to get the job done. Or are they? They are indeed. They keep that position. Right, we're going to go into the final lap then. So we've got a run on Bunny Evil in the Genesis. It looks like the Genesis there, from what I can see. A bit of lag there. Going to go around the outside here, up into P3. A podium position. Happy days with room spin. I'll take that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. You can see the lag behind, though, from Bonnie. So we get it stopped beautifully here. We're going to advance a bit further on then towards the chicane, because you can probably guess what's coming here. This is very sketchy on your 6th lap of mediums. You can see there the rear wanted to step out. We managed to catch it. We're just trying to bring it back here very nicely. And the Genesis gets a really good run through that corner, and actually going to go around the outside. But you're going to see the difference here between the power of the Supra and the Genesis, because they had the run. And now look at this. We're actually going quicker than that Genesis. But we're going to obviously have the penalty. So let's head towards that penalty line then. But you can see the difference there. We overtake them again. That is how powerful this Supra actually is. And Bonnie's going to get that P3. Well played, Bonnie. Good effort, and well saved for that final chicane. But that is the end of Daytona. In fact, the best race probably this week is going to be Race B. Race C will have some good races, but you'll also have some very open gaps in Race C as well, because it's very easy to lose a lot of time here and for people to run away. Right, let's jump into some bloopers then before we head off, and before I head off to bed. Right, let's have a look at Sergey first of all. Obviously, this was the sort of to the realms in Race 1. Because here, they brake. You can see they just get a bit of oversteer. They went to correct it, and I just went to the realms. Not their fault. Well, it sort of is, but it's a racing incident, essentially. They were just trying to catch their car, and I tried for a sneaky sneaky move around the outside. Not a sneaky room. That would be a bit weird. Oh, hello. Who's that from behind? I think we should have a look at the start. Is that Salvi again, skipping the chicane? My word. Right, let's have a look at it from Salvi's perspective then. Into this. Do you know what? There's not exactly a lot of madness here, is there? There's a couple of people that go wide. Salvi, one of them, just absolutely boots it out the corner and actually gains a position there. But because there was contact, no penalty. Right, we're going to look at this incident here with Carl. You can see I went to the outside there, very clearly alongside, and they just turned in and wore me there, so I think they just misjudged that. This one's a bit weird though. They release the brakes and go straight towards them and actually punt them. Very bizarre. It's not something we'd like to see there, Carl, and I'm glad you got a 5-second penalty for it, because just don't punt. Just don't punt. That is it for the weekly race guide. I do hope you've enjoyed it, folks. Again, apologies if I sound off or weird. I'm just feeling very ill at the moment, so just be happy I've got the video out for you. 2 videos there if you want to check them out, including the big announcement. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. Please do get a like on the way out, and I look forward to seeing you in another video or live stream very soon.